When it comes to university athletics, Dick White has reached iconic status. Dedicating over 30 years to helping develop high-quality sports programs, Dick White most importantly helped to develop athletes into community leaders. Beginning his career at the University of Regina in 1981, White worked his way up from an administrative assistant, eventually becoming an athletic co-coordinator on his way to being named Director of Athletics in 1995. White's expertise drove the University of Regina's athletic program growth from 6 varsity sports, men's and women's basketball and volleyball, and men's wrestling and hockey, to 16 varsity-level sports programs.
In the early years when I first started, the programs at university, I would say, would more accurately resemble advanced high school programs. And I don't say that necessarily about the athletes. There were many good athletes and many really good coaches, but they were all part-time. I really credit Neil Sherlock at the time, who was also a Sasksport Hall of Fame inductee. And Neil Sherlock went to the board and was able to get full-time coaching positions in all 6 of our sports at that time. And that was really the start of turning around the competitiveness and really the quality of the sport programs that we had at the time. And then eventually we grew into a larger program.
One of his greatest achievements was playing an instrumental part in taking the 4-school Great Plains Athletic Conference and adding it to the formation of the 17-institution Canada West Conference.
And it really became a matter of why wouldn't we amalgamate? It just made sense to have one large Western Canadian conference that would be highly competitive, and really it just solidified something that was happening anyway on a non-conference basis. We just moved ahead and made something bigger and better, and really turned into what ultimately has become the strongest and most competitive conference in university sport in Canada.
A community partnership model created in part by White has allowed the university to add track and field, swimming, cross-country, and the Regina Rams Football Club to the University of Regina sports program, broadening the athletic scope of the university. While under White's governance, the University of Regina won 16 Canada West GPAC championships and 4 Canadian Inter-University Sports Championships, and hosted 5 CIS National Championship tournaments. White would also become a strong proponent of gender equality in varsity sports. The formation of women's hockey, wrestling, and soccer has had a positive impact on the university and in the community.
Gender equity was really something that it's fundamental in the CIS. It is one of our core values in Canadian university sport. We were not offering as many women's programs as we were men's, and it was something that we clearly wanted to address, especially given the fact that at our university and at many universities, there's more women students than there are men. That has, again, been a very important part of our expansion. It's been a real good move for us as far as creating elite opportunities for young women.
White's legacy to the university can be summed up in one word: improvement. Under White's leadership, the university created an environment ripe for the athletes to succeed.
There's no question some of the championships that we've won that I was in attendance to are very memorable. Women's basketball up at the University of Alberta when we won that, and our first national championship ever, men's wrestling at McMaster, I was there for that.
White's career in athletics started small, officiating and coaching in the early 1970s. This blossomed into serving on boards of high-profile local, national, and international organizations. He provided much leadership and direction while serving on the Sask Sports Board. White's work on boards eventually led him to becoming the longest-serving CIS president in the organization's 50-year history.
I think if I'm proud of something, I'm very comfortable and convinced, given alumni that I talk to, that their participation at the University of Regina as a student athlete was one of the best things they did in their life. And I think if we can create programs that develop future leaders, and if they have the opportunity to participate in a program, win or lose, but they can look back at it and say it's one of the best things they did in their life, one of the most memorable things, I really feel like we've accomplished a lot.
Recognized for his tireless volunteer efforts and his outstanding contribution to sports in the province, White received the Government of Saskatchewan Centennial Committee's Saskatchewan Leadership Award. He is also inducted into Manitoba's Baseball Hall of Fame and the Regina Sports Hall of Fame. White officially retired on December 31st, 2014, although his impact on athletics and the University of Regina sports programs will continue to shape future athletes.
It's actually just an incredible honor. It really is unbelievable. I've reflected often that none of us get into sport to get into the Hall of Fame. We get into the sport because it's just so darn much fun. It's just one of those things that I never would have believed could have happened.
Installed in the Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame on June 13th, 2015, Dick White.